All right. Hi, I'm Mike Cerrone with Mastermind Agent. We're here for the referral mastermind call. And today it's an open session. We can talk about any topic you would like to talk about. So be sure to bring up any questions or thoughts you have on this idea of how to get more referrals from our friends, family, and past clients. It's going to be a great call today. I see we have some fantastic people on the call today who know a lot about referrals. So hopefully we can get them to participate today and share. As we're getting started today, let's go ahead and do this. Let's talk about any successes that you've had in the last week, or say even the last month, when it comes to referrals. Give me a success that you've had with referrals. Anybody, go ahead and unmute yourself, talk to the group, tell us about a success you've had.
You asked about a referral?
Howdy, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Bonetta.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
My name is Bonetta.
Hey, Bonetta, nice to meet you.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
My name is Mike.
Oh, you're Mike. You're Mike Cerrone. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So tell us about the success you've had with referrals.
Not enough. I've really been more of a transactional agent than anything else. But I have had some. I had a, what do you call that? That person that really is a big supporter of yours. I can't think of the word right now.
You could have an advocate. They've got a lot of words out there. I like the word advocate.
But there was one. He was my staunch supporter anyway. Mm-hmm. He was from my church, and he's given me a lot of referrals, selling referrals, buying referrals. But he's moved out of the area, so he's retired, moved out of the area. So I need to focus on how to be more, get more referrals and stuff, so I can work less hard as I'm working and have more referrals. I've done quite a few transactions, but I don't always get the referrals.
Sure. Are you going to stay in touch with this fella who moved out of the area?
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, I think that's a smart idea, because even when somebody moves out of the area, they still have a lot of connection in the area, a lot of people they know, relationships. They're going to be still going to be a good referral source. So be sure to stay in touch with him.
Oh, yeah, he's my deacon. So we stayed in touch. I even talked to him last week, and he said, "I got 2 new ones for you. They're coming." I was like, "Okay, all right."
That's awesome.
I need more than that.
Yeah, well, be sure to treat him well. Take him to lunch and show your appreciation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Thank you for sharing. That was very nice.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else have a success that they would like to share with referrals? We're getting warmed up here. That was a real nice one. Anybody else?
Give you a success story, Mike.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I tried a different approach last week. Usually when I'm talking with clients or potential clients, I generally will ask them who they might know who would be planning on moving sometime soon, or who they know that will be selling. I tried a different approach, and I asked, who do you know who might need a good buyer's agent? And that's something nobody's asked that I've heard of. And it led to talking to a potential buyer who, of course, owns something that they're going to be selling in order to buy. So turned out to be a win-win potential referral by asking a different question.
Wow, Michael Edlin, thank you so much for joining us and sharing that great success story. As you all may know, Michael is a superstar out in California, and I really appreciate that. Michael thinks a little bit differently about these ideas and ways to approach things. So I like this approach. So you basically went out, instead of saying, hey, who do you know who's thinking about buying or selling? You said, who do you know who needs a good buyer's agent, right?
Right.
Cool. And you said you just started doing that. Have you tried any other scripts that have worked well?
I don't approach it in that way. Usually I just offer assistance, see how I can help, how the kids are, just generally touching base periodically. And I don't try to sell anything.
Right. It's osmosis. But it's not. What you do is you put yourself out there, right? And you're making connections with people. And as you said, you're offering service and value. I just love your approach, Michael. Thank you for sharing your success with us.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Awesome. Does anyone else have a success that they would like to share as we're getting started? Any success you've had with referrals over the last week or the last couple of weeks? This is great.
I can say what happened for me. Hi,
Hey,
Mike.
Susan.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. Thanks for sharing. Tell us about your success story.
So last week was a great week because we had five listing appointments, and all five of them were referrals. One was a past client. One was a referral through the country club that we belong to. And the other three were also past clients. One was a nephew of one of our clients, and another one was a parent of one of our clients. So we had a really good referral week last week. They were all referrals.
Oh, that is fantastic. Five, you said, 5 listing appointments from referrals. You have to absolutely love that. If you were to backtrack a little bit, why do you think that happened? What stimulated that?
I think just because we have our systems in place, and these are all people that we market to, that we keep in touch with, that we, two of them were clients that we, see quite a bit, and one's in our neighborhood that we've been marketing to for a long time. So it's just because I think we've been able to work with them in the past and also have build a relationship with them. It really has helped.
That is fantastic. How cool. It sounds, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you a couple quick questions here because you've had such an amazing week. We'd all love to have a week like you've just had. Do you have a formal program where you go out and reach out to the people do you have a database, and do you reach out to them formally?
So I've been selling real estate for 18 years. So yes, I have a database that I use, and we do have a like marketing calendar or marketing system that we keep in touch. We do mailings. I also do calls and keep in touch and also see people. We have 2 or 3 events throughout the year that we keep in touch with past clients. And so it's just constantly, trying to touch them as many times as we can during the year, which really helps. And obviously delivering the quality service that we say we're going to deliver when we do work with them.
It does all come down to that, doesn't it? Delivering on your promise, over-delivering whenever possible.
It does.
How many touches do you think you make throughout the year? Do you know exactly, or an estimate?
I would say probably to like all of our database, at least, I would say probably at least 10 touches a year. Sometimes more, it just depends. Like for some of the neighborhoods that we have 5 neighborhoods that we really target, and we've been working with them for a long, long time. And so I don't touch them every month. I touch them every other month. But then as we get listings or we work, we sell a property in that neighborhood, they get the just listed, they just get the just sold. And so then they're getting more touches than our normal scheduled touches throughout the year. I know you can do a lot more than that, but I just, because we have several different areas, and plus then just our database, we probably have about 2,500 people in our database. It can get expensive, right? So every other month works, good for us, and we still stay top of mind.
That is fantastic. And you mentioned that's kind of a geographic farm. So that's part of the database. And then you've got your PCSOI, your past clients and sphere of influence. And I assume that you touch your past clients or your really good people that send a lot of referrals more often than 10 times a year. You were talking about events, for instance. I
do. We usually see them. Well, we have a couple events that many of them come to throughout the year. And then we make phone calls, we see them, we might meet them up for coffee or meet them for lunch or, get together for dinner. So, and some of them some of them belong to the club that we belong to, the country club that we belong to. So we get to see them a lot throughout the warmer months and just throughout the year. So we keep in touch with them that way.
That is awesome. I'm going to ask you one other quick question. People would probably want to know if you could just, if you had to eliminate everything you were doing, but you could just have one thing left, what would it be? As far as getting referrals, if you could only just do one thing left, you had to get rid of everything, but only have one thing left. In other words, what's the most important thing?
For me, probably, I've been doing a lot of marketing for a long time. I send out a lot of postcards, and some people don't have success, but I think because I've been touching them, and it's been consistent. I started 18 years ago, and I was lucky because my husband had a full-time corporate job, and so I was able to afford it. So I started with the marketing right away. And at that time I was marketing every single month. And then now after doing it for so long, I mean, people have been hearing from us for such a long time. And, just for instance, I live in a neighborhood that I've been here for 23 years almost. And so I was walking the other day with a friend, and I met a neighbor that's been here as long as I have, but I had never met them before. And I didn't have to say who I was. They're like, "Oh, you're Susan Murphy." We get, they know who I am. And I find that often just because I've been marketing them for so long. So the farming with the geographic marketing and even through past clients has really been a good way to touch, because I don't always get to sit down and make all the call. I don't get to call people every month like I might want to, but I do still touch. I do still make a lot of calls throughout the year. I still do my lead gen.
And it sounds like they blend a little bit. A lot of your past clients are in your farm and your sphere in the farm. And so that's why it's kind of blends over.
Mm-hmm. It does, because I feel like a lot of the listings that I've had over the years, because we probably list about 70% and then maybe 30% buyers. So we're stronger listers. But I live in a very transient neighborhood, and it's a large neighborhood. It's about 500 homes. And then the other 4 neighborhoods that I've been marketing for almost 20 years, they are large neighborhoods also in my local market area. And so there's a lot of people that we touch through our marketing and that I've never even met, but I've gotten a lot of listings that way because they've seen my signs up or seen our signs up, or they get my marketing. They already know who I am. And I've just always been really consistent with it. I didn't stop.
Well, Susan, I'm a curious person, as you know, so I have to take the one extra question. I couldn't help myself. You mentioned geographic farming working well. It would be your number one thing to send out your postcards if you can only do one thing. What is on the postcard? Is it just the consistency, or do you think there's a message on the postcard, or how you present yourself, an offer that you make? What's on that postcard?
Well, we always have on the front. We do have our team picture on the front. Like, it's not real big, but it's smaller. Whatever we have on the front, whether it's, just we're pulling it out of Core Fact is the company, a lot of times the company that we use, whether they have like a saying or something on the front, or whether we're doing like a just listed or a just sold or whatever it is. We might have a house on the front, but we always brand ourselves on the front with our marketing information, and on the back, we also brand ourselves back there. And we always have a call to action, whether it's, if you're looking for your value, or like right now, because of the market the way it is, we're offering obviously the free, market analysis or, equity analysis that you have in your home. And they can we do the QR code so they can kind of figure it out themselves, but then they can also, contact us. We always have a call of action on there, whether it's calling us or texting us or using the QR code, and putting our team picture and just my husband, Mike, and our picture on the back with all of our contact information. It works.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. I hope everybody was taking a lot of good notes there. Susan laid down a lot of great info. I heard the picture being very important, right? Everybody's seeing you, even if they're just doing this over the trash can, they're seeing your face, they're seeing your name. If they look at it for a little bit, they're seeing the offer. The CMA is still a very popular offer. You're giving them a QR code, another method to get in there quickly and just research it on their own, or they can contact you. They're giving a lot of ways to get back in touch with you, and the consistency. And I bet there's a lot of proof of success. As you mentioned earlier, just sold, just listed, a lot of activity. They're seeing pictures of homes that look just like theirs in the market. So
Right.
they know you're the expert. They're attaching your name with real estate, an expert in the market, right?
And we do a lot of testimonials, especially in the 5 neighborhoods that we've been marketing for 20 years almost. We put a lot of we ask, obviously our sellers and our buyers, but we put a lot of testimonials on there. And I think that really helps because people then see that what we're doing is authentic and, that we're doing what we say we're going to be doing.
That's absolutely correct. There's nothing more powerful than a testimonial. I'm sure that you feel the same way when you're looking for service providers. There's nothing better than hearing somebody who's in your shoes getting what they desire, what they wanted. And you're saying, wow, if they could do it for them, they could do it for me. And it's been proven over and over again. There's nothing more powerful than that testimonial. And I'm really glad you're doing that. And everyone listening, I hope you realize that this idea, even though we're talking about geographic farming, it does tie right into the referrals from your PCSOI, the same concept. If you can show testimonials where you've helped other people, the people in your sphere are going to say, man, this is the real estate expert. They can help me do the same thing. I want to do that too. Be sure to pepper in those testimonials. Very powerful. Susan, thank you so much for sharing your success with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Does anyone else have a success they would like to share with us this morning that they've had with referrals? If you do, go ahead and unmute yourself and let's hear what you got to say. All right, let's do this. Let's switch gears now. And by the way, thank you everybody for sharing your successes of the week. I always enjoy that, and it's inspirational to me, and I hope to everyone here to hear these successes. Let's switch gears now and talk about, do you have a challenge that you're having with getting more referrals, again, from your past clients, your friends, your family, your sphere of influence? Are you doing something out there, but you're not getting the results you want? Or do you think you just need one more little tweak? If you just knew the answer to something, you think you would have more success with referrals? If you have any questions like that, or comments, or there's something you'd like to lay down in front of the mastermind, I've been doing a lot of talking here, but we want to open this up to the mastermind for ideas, and I'll share with you. If you've got anything you would like them to kind of brainstorm on, why don't you go ahead, unmute yourself, and tell us what you're thinking. Where can we help you today? All right, so we got a shyer group today. That's all right. If you think of anything, don't be shy. Go ahead and unmute yourself and throw it out there. We're here to talk to one another and help one another out. That's what the mastermind is all about. I'm going to throw out a quick concept or question we can maybe spend some time on. And that is, do you have a script? I know that sounds silly for some of us, but some of us like scripts, like to have an idea, either a script or a concept that you like to incorporate into your conversations that results in a referral. I've been looking into this week, going back into some of our top folks and seeing what they say specifically to generate referrals or what they like to throw in. What I like to find out is right here in the mastermind, are there any statements that you like to use that are generating referrals? So if you have a script or a statement or a concept you like to use when you're chatting with your folks that results in referrals, go ahead and unmute yourself and let us know. So that's obviously not the popular topic for today. What would you like to talk about? Somebody unmute yourself. Let us know what you'd like to talk about in this mastermind. Again, this is for you. We're here to help you do better in your referrals. You give us a topic and we'll try to run on it.
Well, Kathy's asked about a recommendation, Mike, for an agent new to an area with no sphere of influence. How would you reach out? How would you contact people if you were new to an area and you didn't know anyone?
Hey, that's great. Thank you for looking at that, Michael. I'm still trying to figure this all out. So it looks like you saw something in the chat or the comments maybe. And I don't even know how to open that up. Let's see if we can look. Excuse me. And you said that was the question was, what do you do if you're new to the area and you don't have a sphere yet? Michael, how would you answer that question? Let's start off. Do you have any ideas that would help?
I would do open houses every Saturday and Sunday. I would meet everyone I possibly could to get contact information. I would offer information on the real estate market then or in the future. I'd find out who they know that I could be useful to in some way, what kind of information might be of interest to them that has anything to do with real estate or the community. I'd go to every local small market, shop, service provider, florist, and talk to the people and find out as much as I could about the community and who the movers and shakers are. None of that would cost me anything. And probably if I did that 7 days a week or 6, within 2 months, I'd have a nice sphere of influence building.
I love it. Michael, that was fantastic. How would you capture their contact information to put in your database so you could reach out to them more than once?
What I'd have Kathy do is offer information on a regular basis with no obligation or cost, of course, about what's going on in the real estate market, even if they're not planning on moving or thinking even of doing anything with real estate. Are they at all curious about it? Would they like to have information? Would they prefer it by mail or by email? And get the information that way. I'd join local community organizations. I'd go into service clubs, Rotary, Optimists. I'd offer to be a speaker, guest speaker there. And I'd ask them, if you want to have information that's further detailed, what's the best way to contact you or get it to you?
That is fantastic, Michael. I love it. That's your concept of service as well, right? It molds right into your approach to this whole business, which is how can I help people? How can I serve them? And you're just offering that. And in exchange, you need a way to get that information to them. So it makes logical sense that they would give you their contact information.
Of course, I'm not selling anything.
Right. You're offering service.
If I'm in real estate, Mike, and I'm not there for service, there's something wrong.
That's true. That is true. Michael, what a great point. Let me open this up to the mastermind. Does anyone else have any ideas for Kathy on she's new to the area, she doesn't have a sphere yet, she wants to figure out how to meet people and create relationships, add them to her database so she can Stay in touch with them. Anybody else, if you have any ideas, unmute yourself and help Kathy out here. How could she get started in this new area?
Mike.
Yes. Hey, Susan.
Hey. So I some agents that have really embraced door knocking. You know, not everybody likes to door knock, but if you're new to the area and you don't know anybody, that's the way. That is one way. It's free. It's just, you know, some soles to your shoes. And you can really, you know, you can door knock around areas that you're living in or neighborhoods that you're living in, or knock around a house, right? So let's say you're hooking up with agents in your office that do a lot of open houses that are always looking for agents to help for open houses. You can do the door knocking around that. I mean, I know I have done, it's called the 10-10-20, where you door knock 10 homes beside on each side of your home, and then 20 across the street, and just invite them to the open house and ask them, you know, if they know anybody that might be looking to move into their neighborhood, you know, to invite them to the neighborhood open house. Sometimes agents will do open house neighborhood previews. So like an hour before, it gives them an opportunity to share the market and share real estate information with them, and maybe pick up a listing or two that way. Even just connecting with some top agents that, you know, work in your market area, that work in your office, that you can learn a lot. That's how I learned a lot in the beginning. The first couple of years I was in the business, I had 2 agents in my office that were very, very good top agents, and I pretty much just followed everything they did.
Susan, that is a great idea. I love it. And I like that you and Michael are coming at it with free ideas for people to use. The door knocking is how I got started in the business because it's free. And for me personally, it was much easier for me to knock on a door and talk to someone because I could see them face to face than to pick up the phone. I don't know why, just was. And that may be true for anybody listening. If you're having problems picking up the phone, go knock on the door. Maybe it'll be easier to talk to people face to face. Interestingly, I'm talking to a bunch of newer agents in Canada where it's pretty cold, and they have a lot of success door knocking to get their business started. I know one kid, I say kid, he's in his early 30s, but he's had a couple of $1 million listings just by knocking on doors. So you can get success started up, ramped up quickly there. That was such a great idea. Other things, I'll just throw out a couple quick thoughts. Any hobby that you have that you should go join groups that do that hobby, you'll have an instant connection with them. So for instance, you may know I like mountain biking. I would go try to find a local mountain biking club and join there and talk to the people about mountain biking and get to meet them and their spheres and kind of grow from there. You could join a church if you're a part of a church. You want to be a part of another great organization. Community organizations. I think Michael was going down that path. The Chamber of Commerce. Anything that looks fun and exciting to you. I think Susan had mentioned that she's part of her country club, where you can get around people that you believe you'll have an instant connection with. What a good idea. Anybody else have any other ideas for Kathy, who's new to an area and trying to ramp up her sphere quickly? If you do, go ahead and unmute yourself and let us know what you're thinking. Yeah, all right, good. Well, hopefully, Kathy, that helped you out, gave you a couple of good ideas to get started with. Um, Boom, and excellent. And sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once there, letting people into the mastermind. So if again, let's open this up. Do you have any topics, curiosities, questions about getting more referrals that you would like the mastermind to share with you? As you can tell, there's a lot of talent on this call. Go ahead and open up. Give us a challenge that you've been experiencing, something that the group can focus on to help you take the next step forward. If you have a question, a concern, an issue, you're trying to set up a program, anything, go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your question. Okay, this is good. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to throw something out. Maybe it'll help. Like I said, I've been doing some research on a couple of scripts. Sometimes it helps to have a script. And I'm kind of like Michael, where I don't necessarily use an exact word script all the time, but I like to have a concept in my mind of what the end result is, and then the words kind of flow out properly based on who I'm talking to. Anyway, I'm going to give you a couple of scripts from some of the top folks that I've talked to over the years on how they get referrals. Maybe it'll help. I'm going to give you just a couple quick ones here. If you got something to write down, maybe it'll help. I've got, let's see, I'm going to do just some of the fast ones. So let's do one from Monica Angeles. Monica's pretty amazing. Monica sold 162 homes last year as a solo agent. Pretty nutty. But she's really a great person. She did over half of that by referral, and she has a pretty small list, and she's in a small town. She has a 23% referral productivity percentage. So if you took her database and you figured out how many people end up are referred or end up in a closing, hers is 23%. So almost one in four on her list send her a closed referral every year. She does not like to do any kind of cold calling or reach outs that aren't very specific, like inviting someone to a party or just reaching out to see how they're doing. And what she does, she doesn't like to ask directly for a referral. So she has kind of an indirect script. And so I'm going to give you her 3-second, what I call add-on script. It's an add-on to the end of the conversation, whatever she's chatted with them about. She simply says this: hey, if there's anything that I can do to help, just let me know. I mean, that's it. We could all do that, right? We could tag that onto the end of any conversation. It's so simple. Say, hey, if there's anything that I can do to help, just let me know. If you want to write that down, I'll read it one more time. Again, this is from Monica, and she just says, hey, if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. What do y'all think of that script? Do you think that that's a good one, bad one, helpful, something you might want to use? Unmute yourself. Let me know what you think of that one.
Well, if she found it works so well for her, it's certainly worth tacking on to the end of any conversation for the next week and see how it works.
Don't you love Michael's approach? He's willing to experiment. This guy has been super successful for a long time, and he's willing to take new ideas and add them in to test them to see if they work. I think you need to take that approach to this business. Michael, thank you so much for saying that. And so I think that's a good idea. Anybody else have any opinion on this?
I think
is something that's good to say. Obviously, what we're in the business to do is to help. A lot of times you might be just helping somebody. They might not be ready to sell or buy a home, but they have real estate interests and they have real estate questions. And our job is to help them. And hopefully down the road, it could turn into a referral or could turn into a sale or a buy. So that's what we do. We help.
That's absolutely right, Susan. Thank you so much. I love it. Let me, for anybody who missed it, I'm going to read it one more time in case you want to write it down. And again, it's just a short little couple of words, but it's what she does is a tag on to the end of a conversation. It's non-threatening. It doesn't say anything about real estate or even referrals. It's kind of implied. And her statement is this: hey, if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. Hey, if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. So you might want to add that to your toolbox as something that will help. Let me see if I have another good one here. I'm going to do one more. I'm hoping these are helpful. I'm going to do one more. It's kind of similar. This is from a guy named Tim Reeder. Tim Reeder, pretty sharp fella. At one point, I think his team was selling around 300 units a year. It grew beyond that. But when we talked on the phone, and that year he had personally received and closed 103 repeat and referral closings. So this guy has a pretty good approach. Again, this is Tim Reeder, and he personally received and closed 103 repeat and referral closings in 1 year with this idea. And a couple other quick things that are interesting there. He had a pretty large list, and he decided to pare it down because he felt he was not being effective with his group. So he pared it down to a 300-person list and worked that for a couple of years. Instead of, he had 1,000 people, I think that was just a little too unwirely, I think that's the right word. It was just a little too much for him, so he pared it down. And if you take the 103 closings out of the 300-person list, that's a 34% referral productivity percentage. That's the highest I have on record. It's pretty phenomenal. And he has a 13-word script that he adds on to the end of each call. So very similar to what we just did, but I'll just give it to you in his words. This is 13-word referral script add-on at the end of a call. Okay, so ready? So get ready to write if you want to take this on a note. It says, oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. It says, oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. Oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. I kind of like that 13-word script. What do you all think about that? Go ahead and unmute yourself and let us know. Wanda, did you have a comment about that script? Did you like it, not like it?
You could put the two together, do that one and then the other one.
Look, Michael's creativity. Sweet. So you want to put the two together? Oh, did I hear somebody else? Anybody else have a comment? Go ahead, throw out. Let's chat.
Just, I've seen other agents put that in at the end of their signature lines. I've heard other agents say that before. So absolutely. That's important for people to know that you're never too busy.
Exactly.
Because too many agents, when they're talking to other buyers or sellers, they talk about, oh, I'm so busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But they really then are kind of sending the message that maybe they're too busy, obviously, right, to help. So it's better if you make sure that they understand that, the market's good, everything's good, but I'm never too busy to help, anybody that you might know that is looking to sell or buy, or that anybody that's just looking to have a conversation about real estate, you're available.
Absolutely. That's an excellent point, Susan. We've heard that throughout time. I'm sure you have as well, that as you mentioned, we get so focused in our production that we're talking about that because we're just expressing what's happening in our life. And we inadvertently give the impression to the other person that we're just completely filled up and we cannot do anything as far as helping them or their referral, which was not the message we wanted to get across. And this kind of helps to smooth that out a little bit, to let them know we're never too busy, to help them out. I'm going to read that one more time for you, for anybody who still wants it. Again, for Tim Reader's 13-word script that he adds on at the end of the call. And it's just, oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. Right? Oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. Just such a simple script. And Michael had mentioned maybe combining these two. Let's see if we can do that, Michael. Let's see, you think which one goes first? The first one first? Say, hey, if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know, because I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. Maybe that was it. What do you think, Michael? How would you combine those up? Hey, if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. Maybe that's the combined script. Maybe it's super powerful. Maybe it's too much. I think Michael's got the right answer, which is experiment and see what kind of results you get. Cool. Anybody else? Go ahead.
I do it the other way around. By the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know.
Perfect. Love it. Everybody, I hope you got that. So Michael switched it around. Pretty cool. Oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. That flows nicely too, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that. I'd switch it around myself too. I'd say, oh, by the way, I'm never too busy for any of your referrals. And if there's anything that I can do to help, please just let me know.
Awesome. It kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Sweet.
It does.
Well, I hope everybody's taken some good notes on that. It's an easy add-on to the end of a conversation to see if you can generate the business and plant that seed, right? We're planting a lot of seeds there that may germinate and sprout out somewhere else and result in our referral, just basically letting people know we're around to help. Because if we don't, they might get the wrong impression. Susan had brought up a really good point there. Cool. Anybody else have any comments on a script that you really like, or one of the ones that we presented today as far as letting people know that you're open to referrals? If you do, go ahead and unmute yourself and let us know. Cool. Well, I had a lot of fun today. I'm going to wrap up this mastermind. I enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. We had a lot of great talent and contribution today. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everybody, for being here and participating in the mastermind. We're going to do another one next week. We're trying to do these weekly. I hope that they're helpful in stimulating your ideas. If you run into a roadblock this week on referrals or a success and you want to share it, go ahead and note that down throughout the week and bring it to the mastermind next week so we can brainstorm on it or share and celebrate the success that you had and get that out there. Again, thank you so much for joining the mastermind. I hope you all have a productive week. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.